In this video, I'm going to talk you through basic record keeping for self-employed businesses. I will also go through everything you need to know to keep you legal and make sure you have the info needed for when you submit your tax returns. And I'll go through what expenses are allowed and which are not. Yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you know next time I upload a video about all things business money. I am Annette Ferguson, Chartered Accountant and Certified Profit First Professional. I am CEO of Annette Co, a UK-based accounting firm. You must keep records of your income and expenses for your tax return if you are self-employed. That means if you are a sole trader or you are a partner in a partnership. There are different rules on keeping records if you are running a limited company. In this video, we are specifically speaking about self-employment. To start with, there are two methods of accounting and record keeping. One is called the accruals method and the other is called the cash basis. If you are recording your income and expenditure on an accruals basis, what that means is that you use the date of your invoice to record the transactions, either your sales invoices that you are issuing or the invoices you receive from your suppliers. That is accrual accounting. Now, the other basis is a cash basis. And if your business has a revenue of under £150,000 a year, then you can use the cash basis of accounting for your tax returns. On the cash basis, it's a lot more simple because you just have to use the date that the cash moves for reporting purposes. So the date that you are paid from your customer or the date that you make a payment out to a supplier. So if you can, given your revenue level, given your annual turnover level, if you can, then I would highly recommend just going with a cash basis. So what records do you need to keep as a sole trader, as a partner in a partnership, as someone who is self-employed? Firstly, you need to keep details of all sales and income of the business. All business expenses, and I'll cover what that means shortly. VAT records if you are VAT registered, and PAYE records if you are a registered employer. Details of any grants your business might have received, including any SEISS grants, as well as records about any other personal income you may have received. Now, when you submit a tax return to HMRC, you don't need to give them copies of all these records, but you need to have these records so that you can work out the profit or loss of your business, which is what gets declared on your personal tax return. And in the event of a tax investigation, you may be required to show some of these records. If you're getting value from this video, do remember and hit the like button. If you are self-employed, your business will have a variety of expenses, and some of these expenses will be allowed deductions against your income to calculate the profit on which you are charged tax. So for example, let's say that your business's revenue, turnover, sales, all these words are interchangeable. Let's say that is £40,000 a year. And let's say that your allowable expenses are £10,000 a year. That means the balance, £30,000, is the profit, and that is the number that is used to calculate how much tax you pay as a self-employed person. Now, allowable expenses do not include money that you have taken out the business for you to use personally. Some allowable costs include office costs, things like stationery or phone bills, travel costs like parking, train fares, bus fares, clothing, but only if it is uniform based or if it is protective equipment, staff costs, whether that be employees, subcontractors, or freelancers, things that you may purchase to sell on, be that materials to make things or the actual purchases that you then directly sell yourself. finance costs like insurance or bank charges, advertising and marketing spend, including things like your website, or any training courses in relation to your business. If you have expenses, let's say a phone bill, where you use it part for business and part for personal, then you can split that and claim the personal element. You can also claim for things like plant and machinery, vehicles, and fixtures and fittings under a mechanism called capital allowances. You must keep a note of these records in your business for a minimum of 5 years. So there are various ways that you can actually record all this information. You can use one of the many online bookkeeping packages like Xero or QuickBooks, or if you're a small business, particularly if you're one that is not VAT registered, you may find it much easier just to use a simple spreadsheet, which is completely allowed. So here is an example of what a simple bookkeeping spreadsheet looks like. You'd have a summary tab with the summaries of the different months. You'd have your income split out from your costs, and you'd come down to your profit at the bottom. Each month would have an input for the information that you need to keep on your business, and you would update this on a regular basis. I can give you a copy of this template. If you look in the description to this video, you'll find a link for it. So doing your bookkeeping does not have to be fancy at all, particularly if you are not VAT registered, if you're just starting out, if you're running a small business. It can be as simple as just tracking the information in a spreadsheet so it's all in one place for you to then be able to produce your personal tax return. What I also recommend as well is with those receipts and those invoices that you set up a simple filing system, perhaps in something like Google Drive or Dropbox, where you have each year as a folder, and within that you have the individual months. And then on a weekly or monthly basis, you can just save the PDFs or the scans or even the pictures taken with your phone into those files. Because as I mentioned before, if you do happen to get a tax investigation, it is likely that the copies of those receipts and invoices will be reviewed by HMRC, and you'll need to be able to provide those. So here's a basic example of how a bookkeeping spreadsheet would work. You can see here that I have the date of the transactions and the descriptions, and then I put the different transactions under different headings so that I can then sum up what each thing is and get a summary of the information. This makes it much more simple, both when it comes to reviewing how your business is doing regularly, which is really important, but also when it comes to submitting your personal tax return. If you have a tab per month and you can then collate that information together in a 12-month summary sheet, you can just take the totals from that and put them straight into your personal tax return. Like I mentioned, not only that, each month you can see how your business is doing month on month. And that's important information for you as you grow your business, so you can work out what is working and what isn't. This is by far the easiest, most straightforward, and least complex way to be doing your basic record keeping, your basic bookkeeping as a self-employed business owner. Like I mentioned, you can get a copy of this template in the link in the description to this video. So make sure you get your copy of that to help you with doing your own bookkeeping. And if you're struggling with the accounting for your business, I would love to help. Do make sure that you reach out to me at yt@annetteco.co.uk and let me know how I can support you. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure you tune in for the next video.